Okay, this is Leemah,
Yep.
and this is her interview.
Should I just look at you as I'm saying all this?
Sure, I mean, it doesn't really matter to
I
me.
don't know, I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, either way.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, okay. What was the first question? I forgot.
What did you think of the event?
Oh yeah, of course. I thought the event was really beneficial and really well put together. I think that when you have conversations like ones about stereotypes and ones about diversity, it's very easy for people to feel marginalized or people to feel like they're automatically being villainized if, for example, they're not like from a minority group. And I think like you and John both did a really good job of making an environment that felt safe and like so people could be vulnerable and be honest if like they didn't feel comfortable with something. And I think we saw that at times, and I think we also had a space where people could voice opinions that perhaps they wouldn't feel as confident voicing at other points in life. And I think that it was really cool just to see an event try so genuinely to like foster those conversations for no other reason than to like grow from them, if that makes sense. Because I think a lot of times you have events like that, but there's not like ulterior motives, but like a specific like call to action at the end of a specific thing they want you to do, whereas this was just like, okay, like this is important, we need to face the reality of like what's going on, and like then how do we proceed from there. Thought
Cool.
that was cool.
Yeah, awesome. What did you get out of the event?
I think for me it was really interesting to see the differences in people's takeaways from like the same survey. So like we all got the same questions, but for example, like when Jack was saying he like tried to push like all stereotypes out of his mind, whereas Ida was like, oh, I tried to play into the stereotypes. And that was similar to me when I was doing it for James. I was trying to think like, okay, like everyone who was chosen for this was probably chosen for a reason. So sometimes I would like choose like a more controversial answer just because I was like trying to play the game almost, and just like seeing the differences in how people approach that, and then seeing how that affected the way they talked about their answers. Because I think like some people like weren't super proud of like I wasn't proud of the fact that I didn't have a good reason for guessing things about James, and I was just like trying to play the game. But like it was really cool to see like the honesty, I guess, that was there. And I think that for me what I got out of the event was like that most people who like do something that like might rub me the wrong way as like discriminative or anything is usually more like a matter of like them just like being uninformed on it. Like I feel like it forced me to acknowledge that there's very rarely like malicious intent behind things that like maybe sometimes aren't received as well by people in minority groups, at least like in that room, you know what I mean?
Cool. Yeah, definitely. What would your solution to stereotyping and diversity, that kind of, what would that be?
I think like, and we all know this, like it's a big question and it's not ever going to have like one easy solution.
Right.
But I think that like this event was part of the solution in the sense that the first step to solving any problem is like acknowledging that there is a problem. And I think that like sitting down and fleshing out the fact that people feel very differently about where we are in terms of like diversity and like our progress with that. First of all, like confronting that reality has been important and it's going to be a part of the solution, but also like bringing all those voices to the table. Like John made a comment during the panel of like, as a white male, sometimes he feels like he has to be almost an ambassador for like things like diversity. And I know some people in the audience like took issue with it, but like at the same time, like John also recognized that like his privilege affords him the opportunity to like reason with people who won't listen to it coming from anyone else.
Right.
And so like having that aspect of it, of like you and John both like bringing people who maybe wouldn't like buy into that kind of event normally, but also like never trying to speak over the voices of like people who were like people of color or like things like that, and just like allowing everyone to have like a fair chance to say how they felt about everything.
Right.
And I feel like those are the features you need of any solution to a problem as broad as diversity and discrimination within it. So I don't know. I also think there's a lot to be said for just these opportunities of like cross-cultural interaction, whether
definitely.
it be like Greek students and non-Greek students, because both sides villainize the other side, or like East Campus and City Campus, or like actual like racial differences. Like differences are there if you want to find them, but similarities are there if you want to find them, and like people taking the opportunity to like expose themselves to uncomfortable situations or like different ones. I think
Right.
that's what it comes down to at the end of the day.
Awesome.
I don't know.
Awesome. Thank you